Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I just got done watching Death Note. Death Note is a 2017 film that came out on Netflix. It is based on the Japanese anime with the same name, and this was directed by Adam Wingard. And the plot is we meet Light Turner. Light Turner is this high school kid. I guess you can say he's your typical, I don't want to say loser or geeky, nerdy type, but let's just say he doesn't have the best luck when it comes to the girl he likes, or getting bullied, or getting put in detention for trying to stick up for the girl that he likes. While he's in detention, he finds this book that says Death Note on it. I'd probably stay away from it just based on that alone. But he picks it up, he's going through it. This demon-like creature named Ryuk, he tells him, hey, look, if you write any name that you want in this book, and if you write the way that you want them to die, it will happen. And it takes some convincing, but he does do it, and over time he's amazed that this is working. He's starting to use it to kill bad people in the world, like criminals and terrorists, and it's going great, but obviously there comes a price. Obviously there are some serious consequences to him using such power like this, and it all goes downhill. Now, what I think of Death Note is, I'm still thinking about this movie on a certain level, thinking about things that they did and the direction that the story went. Overall, I'm going to say that I enjoyed the movie for what it was. And look, I remember first hearing about this film because of the controversy, because of people who loved the Japanese anime, who just like were really into that. When they saw that they were doing an American version here, and that they were changing things, or that they were casting white actors as the main Asian characters, I saw people in an uproar and very upset about it. And look, since I don't have a connection to the original anime, since that's not something that I watched beforehand or know everything about, I was still affected by it though. For some reason, I was looking at this cast and I thought, there's really no reason why you couldn't have had this main kid be Asian. It wasn't important for him to be white. It wasn't like this huge thing of like, it has to be this kid. This actor, I'm not aware of him, Nat Wolff. I can't say I know him from anything, but I don't think it had to be him either. I don't think that there was anything of his acting that made me go, well, there was definitely nobody that could have played this part besides him. And what made it worse that they casted white people to play these main parts in the movie is that there's only like less than a handful of Asian actors in this movie that I really think they did a disservice to the fandom of this property, to the respect that this is coming from a Japanese thing. Like, they even have the same names that they have from the anime, but they're just white people. I could see fans of the anime. I could see if you're Japanese and it's like you constantly feel like you're not getting any representation, anything in Hollywood. And since this isn't a huge blockbuster, let's put it in the theaters type movie, there was no reason why they couldn't have done that. But let's put that aside. The story, the premise is what I found the most interesting about this. When you do see this book, when this book is presented to this kid and this demon who is voiced and I guess motion captured by William Dafoe. First of all, this demon is fascinating. I loved every minute that this creature was on screen, and it wasn't like it was too much. He was there when he had to be. He was telling the rules, explaining the rules, but also trying to drop hints that like, hey, this could fuck you up, and I would love to make sure that happens, or if something happens where I have to kill you, I will do that. And just the design of him, how creepy he looked, I liked it. I did. I was really impressed with the design of it. I will say that the CGI on him was a little wonky at times. It was smart of them to keep him in the shadows as much as they could. But when they did show him, like some of the parts of him talking, the mouth didn't quite move as well with the dialogue. But Other than that, I can't complain too much. Who knows what the budget was. And the whole deal with the book killing people, at points, it almost felt like Final Destination, where it's like you had to create these kills in ways that seemed believable. Like the one kid who gets his head cut off, or the guy who is holding up hostages and he walks into traffic and gets hit by, like stuff like that. I enjoyed seeing how creative they can be with killing people. I even found it fascinating when Light, he decides to use this book and try to clean up as much bad that's in the world. He's using something that's clearly demonic. If I saw this demon thing, I probably would stay the hell away from it. But still, he tried to do positive things in the world. He tried to be almost a symbol. They call him Kara because the symbol of Kara is written on like every wall of every crime scene. And there are people out there who are worshiping this, thinking that it's the second coming of cleansing the world and all this stuff. And all of that I found fascinating where they were going. It's not until there's this cheerleader that he liked at the beginning. She never really gave him the time of day. Mia, I think her name is. And when he tells her about this book, because obviously he's trying to impress her at this point, that's when she shows some interest in him. And the whole time from that moment, I never trusted her. I never really liked her. I felt like it was clear that she was using him and just trying to do these underhanded things just where I couldn't trust her. And it made Light look dumb in the process. It made her unlikable. And so here I am with two main characters that I'm not really caring about. The last half of this movie, I started to lose interest. It almost became a little convoluted too, because you had this other character, L, played by Keith Stanfield, and this actor, I remember seeing him in Get Out just earlier this year. When you first meet him, he's wearing this mask over his mouth, and he's kind of weird. You don't really know why he's acting like that, and even his performance was a little robotic because I guess he was just being mysterious and just weird. He seemed like he was in Get Out, where he was in a trance and all that stuff. I'm like, is this all he can do? But then once it became personal for him, once he did figure out that this was Light, he was coming after him, and he took it personal, that's where I liked him a little more, when he did show more emotion, when he did get in there. I just still can't understand how the fuck did he figure it out. How did he know that this all connected to Light? All of these cases are all almost supernatural, or just, if you want to think a coincidence. There's nothing here to make me believe that he figured out it was this kid. With the ending, like the very ending, was so forced, so convoluted, so just like, really? That's how we're gonna end this right now? Where somehow we just did this? Again, really interesting premise. Really interesting premise. And like, I love this idea. Also, I have to praise the fact that this was something different. This just felt like something different. The style it was shot, the music that was used. There were some things in here, and it did go to places that if I went to a horror movie, or most horror movies in the theater, they are very cliched. They are very paint by numbers, things that you've seen 100 times. I was glad to get something different. I might not have loved what they did. I might not have loved everything about it, but I still can appreciate really what this movie at the end of the day was going for. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have seen Death Note. Did you like it more than I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Are you a fan of the anime? Did this offend you? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later! Please won't you save my desires on fire? Sometimes you need a little peace at home. I'm tired, so wired. Come follow me and I can lose you. Come follow me and take a trip to the dark side. Waiting for the perfect moment, better put it in ya. Drunk on a bender, I apprehend ya.